By the way, if they're doing jobs, more the reason to kick them out, because those should be jobs given to Americans.
But the job market is higher now than it has ever been. The stock market is higher now than it has
Hold
ever
on.
been.
Let's hold on. Do you guys think the economy is better or worse?
We're not.
Is this like a form of gaslighting? This is so funny to me.
Want one? Yeah, okay. We'll throw some more. Disagreements are welcome. If not, we'll keep it up. Just please tilt the mic up because you're taller than our usual question.
So what I want to know, of course.
Right into it.
So Trump, when he was in office, had at a certain point he had control of both the Senate and the House, and yet there are many, many issues that are still going on.
Well, so you bring up a pretty good point and then a not good point. So let me give you the pretty good point. You're right. Trump should have done more with a unified House and the Senate. So Donald Trump did actually fix the border, and he did it without the U.S. Senate or House. He did it through executive orders and through executive direction. The border, when Donald Trump was president, had the lowest ever recorded border crossings into our country on the southern border. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it's the highest ever, right? And so
why did he veto the border bill then?
Okay, well, first of all,
he used his political power to...
Fair enough. How much do you know about the border bill?
So the border bill was endorsed by the Border Patrol agents, right?
First of all, that's not correct.
That is correct.
No, they came out and they said they totally denounced it.
Not Harris. They didn't endorse Harris. They endorsed the bill.
No, you can look at Brandon Judd's statement. He said that's one of the greatest misinformation lies. But let's talk about what actually it is. That bill...
I can pull it up.
Yeah, type in Brandon Judd, border bill.
I'm going to type in the Border Patrol endorsement of the bill.
Well, no, Brandon Judd is the one you should look at, okay? So, anyway, what some union says or doesn't say is besides the point. So, but let me ask you this. For getting the Border Patrol's endorsement or not, mass amnesty was in the bill. It would have given amnesty to 10
Border
million...
Patrol union-backed Senate immigration bill despite House GOP.
Yes. What did Brandon Judd say about that?
So the National Border Patrol Council...
Right, but that's not the Border Patrol union. Those are two different things, right?
They still have their endorsement, and again...
So far, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, this is a student. It seems like he doesn't fully understand what he's talking about. I guess my only problem with that would be if you're going to go up there and say, for example, Charlie Kirk, you're wrong. You're wrong about this. And Charlie Kirk says, I'm not wrong about this. I'm right. And you keep saying, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. The least you can do is be fully sure that he's wrong. But it looks like in this instance, the student doesn't know if he's wrong. He's looking it up. It's not really adding up so far. But anyways, let's continue. I hope you enjoy this video.
You can't say they're Kamala's.
Hold on a second. They retracted it soon after.
Kamala.
Just to be clear, though, it would have given amnesty to 10 million people in this country. Do you think that's a good idea?
Potentially, if they're working in this country.
You would give amnesty.
The majority of illegal immigration, 75% of illegal immigration is overstaying visas.
These are 10 million people that came. We're not even talking about the overstay visas. We're talking about people that came across the border. 10 million of them, uninvited. What would you do with them? Give them jobs?
If there's room for them to work.
Oh, this is a super important moral distinction, though. And that's fine. We have clarity, not agreement. You think the people in this audience should have to compete against foreigners for jobs. I think that you have a moral obligation to your own citizens to give them jobs before the people...
So
you say
now,
not? Okay.
We don't have to worry that you're making a dilemma that doesn't exist. There are more jobs right now in this nation than there was under Trump.
Hold on a second. First of all, not well-paying jobs, and they're not keeping up. Why do you think that wages aren't keeping up with inflation? Wages aren't keeping up with inflation because people in this audience have to compete against people that have come across the border. But let's just talk about the morals of it. Just the moral. So you would give amnesty for people that are and newcomers that just come in and cut in line.
I want to talk about the practical here, Charlie.
The border bill gave them amnesty. It is practical. That's why Trump torpedoed it.
Is if they can help our nation, then we should let them.
Just let me ask you.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I know if illegal immigrants are competing with American citizens for jobs. They probably are, but I can't guarantee that. What I can guarantee and what I am 100% certain about is that the United States government is spending money on housing illegal immigrants, or at some point they were. If you look at the housing, or even if you look at the benefits such as credit cards or debit cards with money on them, or even even things like that. the government is giving illegal immigrants funding. And if you look at that instance, you would know that that funding is not going towards American citizens. And to me, that's the real problem. If you're giving funding to people who are not citizens, when people who are citizens are struggling in any type of way, I believe that's a problem. It would be different if American citizens were guaranteed housing, or guaranteed a job, or were guaranteed retirement. And then we decided, you know what? Let's give people funding. Let's house illegal immigrants. That would be a completely different discussion. But considering that the economy is not really in the best place right now, inflation is on a rise, housing is on the rise, and home ownership is on the decline, and we're still giving resources to people who don't even pay taxes, doesn't that seem just kind of backwards to me? It's very tone deaf to what's happening in the country. But anyways, let's continue.
A moral question, because we can go back and forth. Do you think it should be a
Again, Charlie, I'm not here to talk your talk. I'm here to talk the practical, which is
no, I am
here
practical.
And they can work. No, we're not talking about moral here.
The only discussion is the moral. Do you think it should be illegal to come into the country?
That's not what you led with the moral. That's not what I led with. We're not moving this conversation.
No, we're going back to the border bill. Actually, no, I'm not strongmanning it. The border bill said it's
straw man, not strongman.
I got it. The border bill did what for an amnesty? It would have given amnesty to 10 million illegal aliens, yes?
Okay, again,
you said, why did Trump torpedo it? Because Trump cares about Americans more than foreigners. That's why. Okay?
Why did the GOP endorse it?
The GOP did not endorse it.
Why was it a bipartisan bill?
Hold on a second. Senator Langford, who is a traitor to this country, endorsed it. Yeah?
Multiple GOP senators.
Okay, if you're trying to convince me that a bunch of rhinos got behind a bunch of border bill, we're going to talk past each other. Read the bill. I do not think D.C. or Washington, D.C. should pass a bill that says if you come into a country, you're given amnesty. And you disagree. I don't. By the way, if they're doing jobs, more the reason to kick them out, because those should be jobs given to Americans.
But the job market is higher now than it has ever been. The stock market is higher now than it has ever been.
Let's hold on. Do you guys think the economy is better or worse?
We're not.
Is this like a form of gaslighting? This is so funny to me. Because he's saying like, yeah, the job economy is so much better than it's ever been. Let me ask you guys a real question. This is not even about statistics, because we all live in the real world. We all pay bills. Let's talk about real life. When was the last time you went into a store and every single register in that store has someone working at it? When was the last time, if you know anyone, if you have friends who went to college, or you have children who went to college, do all your children or do all your friends' children, or do you, if you went to college, use your degree that you graduated with? Do the majority of you use your degree that you graduated with at your job? Was it easy to find your job? Was it simple to find your job after going to college for 4 years? Probably not. You could probably say yes to a few of those, but you can't say yes to everything. The reality is this. Companies are not hiring Americans, or the companies are not hiring people. That's why their stock numbers are up. Because they're hiring less people. I don't remember the last time I went into a store and it was full of workers. It doesn't happen. I don't remember the last time I didn't scroll on any social media platform, name any single one, and I didn't see a person complaining about not having a job in that same post having 500,000 likes. So for him to sit here and say, yeah, the economy is great, I can go outside and get a job tomorrow, the average person can't do that. This is why we're even having this discussion. If the economy was great, there would be no room for anyone to come and say it's bad. It would be no room for it. But let's continue again.
You are living on a cloud, man. Listen to the people of this country. They can't afford things. The job market is awful. The economy is terrible. Stop reading the New York Times and start talking to American voters.
Yeah.
And you understand how insane you sound? The economy is better. People are telling you they can't afford stuff.
Yeah, inflation is high now because Trump spent more than any president on the debt in 4-year period.
So wait, it's Trump's fault that inflation is high 4 years later.
as you would come to realize, I'd hope in your role that economies are reactionary forces. It takes time for things to be implemented.
Got it. So nothing is Biden's fault. Everything is Trump's fault.
We'll see Biden's impact largely in the next 3 or 4 years.
It really is remarkable, the power of propaganda. It's fine. Do you think that Kamala Harris and Biden are successful?
It depends on what metric. But economy-wise...
No, I actually do agree. They are a huge success in destroying the country. I totally agree.
So if you look at economists, right, some of the nations, actually many of the nation's leading economists have endorsed Kamala Harris for presidency because they say that Trump will ruin the economy.
Then why didn't he ruin it the first time?
He did.
Trump ruined the economy?
Again, it's reactionary forces. What Trump did is he handled...
So let me just ask one final thing. What is Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment?
Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment? I think it depends on who you ask, but I would say...
You.
Yeah, I would say it was cutting child poverty in half.
She did that?
The Biden administration, her and Biden did that, yes. And that was...
How did she do that?
So, the child tax credit, basically from COVID...
Oh, you mean the one from the Trump tax cut?
It's not from the Trump tax cut.
Yeah, it is actually.
No.
Yeah, it's actually from the tax cut from December of 2017. The one that Kamala Harris is running against is the one that you're touting right now.
No, it's not the case at all,
let me just,
you can lie, but...
No, I mean, you're just totally wrong.
I encourage everyone to look up the child tax credit right now on your phones.
Yeah, the child tax credit was part of the
And look
Trump
on what
tax
bill
cut.
it was passed. Look what year it was passed.
It was during the... Yeah, it was 2017, literally. Donald Trump expanded the child tax cut credit in 2017. Final question. Do you think that Kamala Harris would do a better job the next 4 years than Donald Trump? If so, why? To make the case. I'm curious.
Okay, so I would agree that Harris would do a much better job than Trump for a variety of reasons. Again, if you look at our current track record, we're coming out of the COVID and the Trump policy. We have the most amount of jobs. We have the highest paying stock market. We have child poverty that's cut in half. We have the most... Yes, again, the tax credit. So we have multiple reasons. And then if you look at the case against Trump, you'll see that multiple economists have said that Trump will ruin the economy, right, including Nobel Prize winners.
No, it's just... And this is actually really instructive. And thank you for embodying it so perfectly, which is that, like, everyday people are no longer buying the rubbish, that everything's fine, everything's great. Young people can't afford homes.
Right, because if you here in Montana specifically,
no, every state has seen housing prices go up, but not just that. It's that energy prices are up. It is harder than ever to be able to have a family. We have a fertility crisis.
Let's take Montana for example. Northwestern energy prices are going up under a Republican board of commissioners, despite having a budget surplus this year of over $2 billion.
So I actually did look it up. Biden and Harris expanded child tax cuts. The original bill was under Donald Trump, but I will say under their administration, it was expanded. So I understand why he said that about Kamala Harris. I do have a problem with his stance though, because I feel like I'm getting gaslit. And it's so strange. And I've seen this a lot when Kamala Harris was just running for president and she was running against Donald Trump. One of the biggest issues, and the one reason why Donald Trump won the presidency is because of the economy. Let's be honest, most people believe that Donald Trump's economy will be better than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's economy. And one thing I noticed that the Democratic Party did is they didn't acknowledge the economy was bad until after Donald Trump won. Or I'll give them credit. When Kamala Harris was running, they finally acknowledged the economy needed some work. The reason why that really upset me is because for the past 2 years, I've been saying the economy sucks. The economy sucks. People can't find jobs. College degrees are going down. People are getting displaced by AI. I didn't say illegal immigrants, but now that's the talking point. People are getting displaced by illegal immigrants, so on and so forth. Inflation is on the rise. Housing costs are on the rise. I've been saying this for years. And all I'm hearing from this student is those Democratic talking points. The economy is great. The stock market is up. While people are struggling, people can't buy houses. People can't find jobs. Childcare is $3,000 per month. $2,000 to $3,000 per month per child. Who can afford that? grocery prices have almost doubled in the past 3 years. But what you're hearing from the left is that no, the economy is great. There's so many jobs, there's so much money out here. And that's a big reason why Kamala Harris lost. That's a big reason why her voters get scrutinized so much in these type of videos. That's the reason. Because people on the right will tell you there's an issue. They will say, this is an issue that needs to be fixed. And rather than the Democratic Party saying, maybe this is an issue that we should focus on, they say, no, we're going to send $60 billion to Ukraine or whatever. That's the problem. That's it. It's just tone deaf. And this student is tone deaf. Charlie Kirk is saying the economy sucks. And he's not saying no. Well, he is saying no. He's saying no, the economy is great. It's obviously not great. It's obviously not great. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It's LFR Jojo, and I'll see you guys on the next one.